down the field. Happy tossing dimes, cup $1 million deal. Fantasy football, better know it's real. Tune into the podcast, tell us how you feel. We be going live, best believe we talk.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back into another episode of the Fantasy Football from Up North podcast. It's finally here, draft day, baby. What do you think about that, H?
Got some action. Can't wait.
So excited. Can't wait till it kicks off tonight. So, what are we going to talk about today? We're going to discuss some sleepers.
Yes.
I want to talk about that. We always hear about these, the big name guys, but people forget about these other guys in these like smaller schools or just not big name guys that we think are going to be able to, show up in the draft, get drafted probably late and make a fantasy impact, I would think. So, if you haven't been, obviously if you've been listening for a long time, you know my voice already. I'm Clayton, your host, and joining me as always is the other half of Fantasy Football from Up North and the guy that I just beat again at golf this week. Habby, what's up?
I knew you were going to bring that up. Yeah, I had a rough back, so back nine. So, only can get better. I am going to crush you next time.
Oh, you will. It's coming. Two rounds in a row. The first two rounds, yeah. Most people start off not great, and they improve. I'm opposite. I start off strong, and then I decline. So it's all good though. Whatever. Also want to talk about real quick. Got some exciting news to touch on here. Our website is finally up and ready to rock and roll. Go to fantasyfootballfromupnorth.com right now. You can get our redraft rankings, dynasty rankings. We will be adding articles, as the season gets closer. Our YouTube episodes are going to get put on there, podcast episodes for your entertainment as well. If anybody out there that's listening would like to write for us, just shoot me an email at ffromupnorth@gmail.com. And you guys are more than welcome to jump on board. That'd be awesome to get some fellow listeners on there as well.
Yeah.
And secondly, we are happy to announce that we'll be joining forces this year with another podcast, Eat, Sleep, Fantasy Football. I'm hoping to bring you content, between our podcast and their podcast, probably 5 to 6 shows a week. So we'll give you enough content and everything like that to get you set for the weekend fantasy season. And be sure to go and download the Eat Sleep Fantasy Football podcast on all platforms and also their YouTube channel as well. I'll put all these links in the show notes at the end of the day. And lastly, big contest announcement, my man. But unfortunately, you'll have to stick around and listen to the show or just really fast forward to pretty much the end when you hear me talking about it.
Don't tell them that.
Yeah, whatever. Either way, let's be realistic, man. If you're going to listen, you're going to listen. If not, you just come on for the free shit because I'll probably have that in the title of the show. People are going to be like, "Oh shit, free stuff!" So you wait till the end of the show, guys, and we will let you know what's up. It's pretty big though. It's good. It's exciting.
Sounds awesome.
And it's free. It's free.
Exactly. So, free stuff. You don't get much free stuff these days. There's always something. You do have to listen to us. That is costing something.
It's costing you your 40 minutes out of your day. So, but hey, we're entertainment. We're entertainment.
Exactly.
So okay. Free entertainment on top of that.
Yeah.
So, like I mentioned before, we're going to touch on some sleeper rookies in this draft class. So, Habby, I'm going to get you to kick it off here, buddy. Who's your quarterback that you got? I'll just tell you, we're going to each list off a positional player, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end. Discuss them briefly. End the show with our awesome 3-question ending and go from there. So, Habby, give me your quarterback.
Well, I'm looking at a guy that could go maybe second, third round. QB out of Stanford, 6'3", 217, Davis Mills. He is a work in progress. He's only played 14 games in college. He had some knee issues, and that's one of the biggest reasons why he got knocked down other than the top 5, he's in that second tier, I'd say. So he's a good play action passer. A lot like there's some comparisons to a guy who's in the NFL right now to like a Kirk Cousins or a Matty Ice type of player. Good arm strength. He can hit those balls deep over coverage, and I'm hoping like a team like actually speaking of if the Falcons don't go after a quarterback with their first round pick, I think that this is a guy that we could see the Falcons scoop to learn a little bit, because he does need some seasoning to learn a little bit behind Matt Ryan for the next couple of years.
Yeah, that's what I got out of it too. He's a developmental NFL starter, in my opinion. He's still learning to make those certain throws that he's still, like you said, seasoning. Like, you got to season this guy a little bit.
Yeah.
But just his size and mobility should be enough to, sit back, develop for a year, and kind of be a steal. I don't have him quite that, like you said, second round, possibly third. I think it's more.
I'd say more third round.
Yeah, more third round for sure. The guy that I'm going to touch on then real quick, I'll just kick right over to it, is Jamie Newman. Let me find my notes here. There you go.
Newman.
Yeah. Jamie Newman out of Georgia. 19 games played, almost 4,000 yards, 35 touchdowns. Only a one-year starter, though, in 2019. That's when he kind of broke out. His 2019 season, played 12 games, almost 3,000 and 26 touchdowns. Then transferred over to Georgia for the 2020 season, but decided to opt out, right? Concentrate on the 2020, or on the draft, pretty much, is what he did. Dual threat quarterback, 6'3", 234, and athleticism, man. He rushed for over 825 yards in 19 games. So he's got the mobility, right? So he's going to be able to do that. And as always, any rushing quarterback's going to come with touchdown upside. So you're going to like that. And he's going to be overlooked in this class only simply because of the big names ahead of him, right? You go that big five, the top five guys, Lawrence, Wilson, Mack, or Jones, Fields and Lance. And then I think you could probably put Kyle Trask ahead of him as well in this class. I'm surprised we're not getting a whole lot of talk about Kyle Trask, but that's another whatever. I'm not talking about him neither. Yeah, because I like Newman. I like this guy right now. He isn't NFL ready quite yet. Any of these guys, like we talked about, those top five guys, none of them are really, outside of those guys, none of them, the rest of the guys are, like you said, developmental players, right? So they're going to go to a team in the third round. But he's a great, solid project for a quarterback, right? And I think with upside. So, like I said in here, I said probably a third-round quarterback as well. And I like a team before. I still don't think, even though the Broncos just signed Teddy Bridgewater, I don't think that's going to scare them away from going after, say, a guy like Jamie Newman, or maybe even instead Patriots don't trade up, say Fields and everybody goes and there's really nobody there. Patriots stand pat. Going to a team like the Patriots would be ideal, because I've seen comparisons of Newman to like a Cam Newton. Yeah. I mean, a younger style Cam Newton, maybe not an old Cam Newton right now, but a younger guy, So to sit in that offense, Belichick's offense is a tough one to grasp. So sit behind Cam Newton, learn the offense, and he's already going to be walking into a similar system that he's used to playing, right? Yeah,
I think the problem with him going to New England is that one of his issues in college is that he needs to really develop his passing ability. And I could see that if New England's going to go after a quarterback, they do want somebody who does have that throwing ability coming out of college. I do like him as an athlete. Like, he's a very athletic quarterback. Didn't show well in the Senior Bowl, but taking that year off probably had something to do with it. But hopefully, like you said, he gets behind a good mentor and on a good team. So
and that's like any of these guys, like Mills and even go Newman and Mond, all those guys. That's what they need. They need a mentor to sit behind, right? They need a guy that's gonna help them out and do all that stuff like that. Hopefully, none of these guys go to Pittsburgh. Hopefully, because we know Ben don't like to mentor anybody.
Landing spot in the draft is so big for these guys,
Well, especially these deeper guys, right? Like these no-name guys, really. So, all right, go over to our running back. You had Michael Carter on here of North Carolina.
Yes,
Is he
sir.
considered? I guess he'd still be considered a sleeper. Go ahead. I'll let you talk about it.
He's a sleeper in a lot of books because they have him lower down in their rankings. Not so far down, but I mean, I have him like almost probably in my top 3 like this year. Like I think he's going to be that good. He's his second level. Once he gets past that first level, his second level ability is. I haven't like watching his videos. I haven't seen it in a running back like almost ever. Like he's almost the best when he gets past that first level. Like his elusiveness, his shiftiness is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
He takes great angles on his runs when he gets past, and his ability to turn on the jets after he gets past that first blocking scheme. I mean the first row of tacklers. When he goes up against linebackers and D-backs, like he makes them miss, and it's insane. I think how good this kid is going to be.
Yeah, the positives that I took out of that is, his footwork, his burst, his contact bounce, and soft hands pretty much for him. That's all you really want. I personally, I like this pick as well. I do believe he is probably one of the most complete running backs in this class. And he showed that in the Senior Bowl, did he not? Like he pretty much dominated the Senior Bowl.
Everybody sort of has them underneath, like ranked in between that 5 to 10 range, a little bit lower than maybe around 7 or 8. But and the main reason is because he had that other dynamic back in North Carolina to sort of share carries with. But I think this is a role like that would be perfect for him in the NFL. Like going to a team with already like sort of a bruiser, like in between the tackles kind of runner. He could be that secondary kind of outside the tackles, pass catching back on that team.
I was going to say that too. I think if he goes to another team where he could play that similar role that he played in North Carolina, I think that's where he's going to succeed, right?
Yeah.
You look at another guy who kind of similar, kind of had that kind of gameplay, was like a Chase Edmonds, right? Look at how he played when they had Kenyon Drake there, the 1A, 1B kind of thing. That's kind of the way that this NFL is kind of pushing nowadays, right? Like you're seeing a lot more of that, and it every year just seems to be you're starting to see more teams like that overall. So like you said, like depending on landing spot, I do like him. He should go probably 3rd round, which kind of shocks me because I do think he probably could get depending on, maybe lower 2nd round or like bottom of the 2nd maybe.
But, I think he's going to be pushed into the 2nd, and team's going to get a steal with this kid.
Yeah, exactly. The guy I really like is Demetric Felton, UCLA. Now, this guy stats aren't the best. I mean, when you look at his stats, you're looking 31 games played, 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns. 99 receptions, almost 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. Not really the best, right? You know what I mean? You're looking at that going, this guy looks like a scrub, man. Like guys do this in one year, but let's break it down a little bit for you, and then maybe it could kind of make a little bit more sense. He redshirted as a rookie, was barely used in 2018. And then in 2018 he started playing a little bit of slot receiver. Right, so caught 20 balls for over 200 yards, a touchdown. Versatility showed up now in 2019, where he totaled almost 1,000 scrimmage yards, 5 touchdowns, and he played both slot receiver and running back.
Yeah.
So now you're putting him in that situation where he's. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. Finish.
Okay, and then he was playing both in 2019, where he excelled. 2020 played strictly running back. Over 700 yards rushing, 5 touchdowns, and 3 scores through the air. So he is a versatile, shifty, natural pass catcher. And we're starting to see a lot of these guys come out of college now. Look at Antonio Gibson, right?
Yeah.
Look at Antonio Gibson. You can comp him to a guy like Curtis Samuel, right? Yeah. Similar attributes. And basic, 2020 showed that he can be the running back. He showed up very well in the Senior Bowl. His versatility, that's all you really heard, is him making plays in the Senior Bowl. What was nice though is during that week that in that Senior Bowl, he did basically play wide receiver. So, I mean, if you look anywhere, Fantasy
Yeah.
Pros won't even allow you to rank him as a running back.
Yeah.
Right. So he's kind of being ranked as a wide receiver, but he's going to be that same guy. Like I said, the same skill set as Curtis Samuel. And just with his versatility, I do like him. I like him to go to a team like, I keep always bringing it up, but like Seahawks or the Patriots. I think check both of those boxes. You know, there was talks about Curtis Samuel going to the Patriots before he signed. Where the hell did he sign with again? Samuel went to Washington. Yeah, that's right. So you go from there, but like a team like the Seahawks, maybe, you know what I mean? They don't have that. I mean, they got Chris Carson there still, but they could use a guy like this that you could run out there as a wide receiver / running back. You know what I mean? Put them both out there at the same time. So that's why I do like him. I'm not going to, and I think he's technically going to get drafted probably fourth, fifth round, maybe.
Yeah, late fourth. I got him at, and like you said, I like the fit with the Patriots could be really good for him. Line him up all over the field. We know the Patriots like those guys. He's not very athletic, but he's a big play factor guy, so he can make guys miss, and it should be good to see him.
But Habby, I'll put this out there. I'll put this out there right now. We'll have our dynasty draft. When does that start? That'll be next week. Next weekend.
May. Yeah.
I think it's May 8th. Anyways, if this guy is still sitting there with my last pick in that third round,
oh man,
bring him.
And that's what that's what all these guys are like. Especially not so much the quarterbacks, but I like to go after those these type of guys, and even like tight end, probably sitting there. Those third round, steals.
Okay,
the Terry McLaurins of the draft.
Oh yeah, who convinced you to pick him?
You put it in my ear, but I ran it up the flagpole and pulled the trigger on that one. I liked what I heard from you.
I wish I could go. I wish I could go back in those drafts and see who I picked. I'm sure there's a way you can look, but
yeah,
it's crazy. Like I remember getting Patrick Mahomes. I remember trading. I mean, kind of off topic here, but do you remember when I made that trade at the draft with our buddy Kurt? I gave him it was like a kicker and somebody else for Deshaun Watson. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And then on top of that, I already had Mahomes on my team. I think I won that year. And then I ended up blowing my team up because I'm like, they're all trash now. And so now, actually, I still competed, was in the money last year, I believe. Yeah, last year I competed. I finished third. But yeah, you basically want to find these, in these rookie drafts that you guys have, just don't be worried about going after a big name. If big names start flying off the board, just do your research. There's a lot of articles out there on pretty much every single player. Do your own research, and I think it's awesome. If
Once
you guys
it gets
want
past those first two rounds, it's a crapshoot for everybody else, And I mean, as far as like really the rankings go, because a lot of guys will just pick guys based on the rankings they see on the site they're working with, right? But you can find guys, if you do your research, that are probably not on those rankings, and that will have big factors in the NFL.
Exactly. All right. Wide receiver position. You have a guy. I want you to you're going to try to sell me on him. I have heard good things about him, but Dwayne Eskridge out of Western Michigan.
Yes.
What do you say?
I like him. He's small, yes, but he is fast. And he's potentially a fast wide receiver in this draft class, I'd say. So deep threat. Another guy that I'm really, really interested to see where he goes. Because if he goes to a team with playing opposite a guy almost like Green Bay would be a good example, and he's playing opposite Adams, he could stretch that field out so good for Adams because he's a deep threat. And he can play in that slot position too. He's a special teams guy, obviously. All the fast guys are. But I'm interested to see where this guy lands because he is he could be one of those guys that if I'm sitting there in the third round and he went to a good landing spot, then I'm keeping my eyeball on him.
Yeah. A little bit is a fifth-year senior. That's kind of the downside to him. That's anything you really hear that I saw negative about him. Being 24, there's concern. Is there much room for growth with this guy? Or has he already hit his peak? But if you watch his tape, that's what I was just about to say. I'm like, his speed, just as a receiver and a returner, should be enough that teams are going to be interested in this guy. And like you said, he could definitely make some plays and make a splash in this draft. I think I do. I still think he's going to be one of those guys that goes in the third round. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he could. And like I said, if he goes to that the team that has a good number one, he's going to be a great complimentary guy.
Are the Packers going to do what they're supposed to do this year?
Oh, they better, or else there should be a mutiny there. They better get Rodgers some help. And another team that I'm hearing murmurs about this offseason that it'll just piss me off if they take a quarterback is the Falcons. In the same situation almost that Green Bay was. Matty Ice coming off a bad season, sort of like Rodgers did, and everybody's saying they're gonna draft a quarterback with their first pick, but they're in win now mode. And let's help the team right now, because like Matty Ice is going to be, a bum in a couple of years, so might as well get as much out of him as you can right now.
Well, I personally think that they should trade out of that spot. To be honest with you, I mean, there's a few teams that are going to be wanting to move up for that quarterback spot. So, or go out and get a guy like Kyle Pitts, right? Get a guy like that, and
if they move out Julio, like there's all this like today, all the speculations coming out, and like some serious talks that Julio might be on his way out of Atlanta. They could be looking at another pass catcher to bring in, like either Pitts, or even with that fourth pick, grab like a Chase or something.
Yeah, I think if they're smart, they would just trade down, though, to be honest with you. Get that draft capital. Even if you move down to, say, they're sitting in 4 right now, right? So trade down.
Well, if they move Julio out before the draft, they could get another first-round pick for him.
Yeah, so, I mean, depending on where it goes, but even with that fourth pick, though, I think you trade out of that, move down to, say 9 even, you're still going to get an elite pass catcher at that spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, okay, well, my guy is... who is my guy?
Darden.
Jaelon Darden, North Texas. This guy is where's my notes? I'm so bad like this guy. North Texas, 47 games played, almost 3,000 yards receiving, 38 touchdowns. Biggest year was last year. He had almost 1,200 yards and 19 touchdowns. This guy is an explosive, athletic slot receiver, and he absolutely dominated with his time in North Texas, sorry. Deep threat speedster, very little wiggle in his game from what I saw on tape. Outside of his measure,
here's a quick question for you.
Sure, yeah.
Who is the last wide receiver that was drafted from Texas?
Oh, Jesus, Habby.
From North Texas.
What is he still in the NFL?
No.
Okay, who? Give it to me.
Ronnie Shanklin, 1970. It's been a while since they produced some wide receivers.
Could you imagine if he's still in the NFL?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he could be. You never know. He could be. I'm not playing with a coach, man.
Playing at 62 or something.
Yeah.
Outside his measurables, though, I just want some stats that stood out actually from 2020. He led all college football players in missed tackles at 23. His slot protection was was among the best in the country. 6'3" catches ranked third. His almost 1,000 yards was good for second, and he had the most touchdowns with 16 playing out of the slot. So, why is he going to get overlooked in this draft? I think the biggest thing is his size. He only stands 5'8", 174.
Yeah.
So tiny. But now, if you look at other guys with similar attributes that are playing in the NFL right now, we could talk about two that stand out for sure is Cole Beasley and Tyler Boyd. Both were top 30 among wide receivers in PPR last year. I personally think that Darden's athleticism and skill set is better than what these guys produce. So I don't know. As far as I go, I think if Darden lands in the right spot, I like his upside as a wide receiver too, based on his route running and his after the catch ability. A team like the Cardinals or the Chiefs are perfect fits, but also Bears, Seahawks, teams like that need an exciting wide receiver, like an athletic wide receiver like him.
Yeah. And I like how we're talking about all these small gadget guys, and this is another one. Like he's got, when he gets the ball in his hands, this guy makes people miss. Another, I'd say, early in his career, we could see him being that type of gadget type player for a team. And like you said, he's got in a deep wide receiver class. His ability to make plays with the ball in his hands, combined with his experience as a kick returner, I think that he's gonna get like a lot of hype going into the NFL.
Attention, yeah.
Well,
I don't know. I find myself really, when I'm watching tape and looking at rookies and stuff like that. Pardon me. I find myself gravitating to those gadget players. You know what I mean? Those gimmicky guys. For some odd reason, I don't know. Maybe it was the Antonio Gibson that kind of got the ball rolling for me. Just watching his tape, I was so intrigued with his play out of college. And then you look at even a guy like like a Tyreek Cohen. You know what I mean? Watching his tape, like when he came out of college. So. Yeah, I don't know why, but a lot of these guys, like, you to look at it. Demetric Felton, I really like him, gadget player, right? Darden, gadget player. And all these guys are fast.
Yeah. Same with Carter and Eskridge, both.
Yeah.
Could be gadget players when they go into the NFL. And I think it's the reason you gravitate towards them because of the big catch ability. And they're all going to get grabs. All of these guys are going to get catches, and that's guaranteed fantasy points.
And especially if you're in our league, where if these guys do go running back / wide receiver, you can play them both. Like our buddy likes to cheat Bradley.
Depends what site you're on.
Yeah, Bradley
Depends
Scott.
what site you're on.
If you're listening to this, you're a cheater. Cheater. Anyway, tight end position. We heard about the one, the beast, the generational talent right there, Kyle Pitts. Like, just
it's the unicorn,
a monster. You got a guy from Penn State. How do you say his name? Pat Freiermuth? Is that right?
Freiermuth.
Freiermuth. Patty F. Patty F. We're going to call him. Let's just call him that. Freiermuth. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, that guy. That guy. Tell me about him. Tell me about Patty F.
Yeah. Penn State junior, 6'5", 257, big boy. He's a receiving mismatch for anybody, especially in the end zone. He's got the good blocking potential even out of college, which is huge for a tight end trying to make it in the NFL. And his route running ability is really good. I think there's I'd like to see him go to a team like Jacksonville and just become him and Lawrence can grow together. That's one of the spots that they need help with in their offense is that tight end spot. And he's not the fastest guy, and his hands he's been known to drop some balls out there. But I think this guy, he's fast in and out of his breaks, and he's going to create mismatches. And that's the biggest thing with these top tight ends is the big mismatch capabilities with those defensive backs and linebackers.
Yeah, I personally think that, if Kyle Pitts for some reason didn't exist in this draft, we would have been talking about him being the number one tight end coming off the board. As far as if you're going to talk about between the two of them, Patty F. And if somebody wants to come at me with saying, why don't you know how to say these guys' names? Shut up. Give me a translation, maybe. Yes, I should have. I probably should have looked it up, but I didn't. So you know what?
Well,
Suck
even
it
if you
in.
looked it up, it's a tough name to say.
It's probably, that's what I just did. And you know what? Hashtag Patty F now. That's it. I'm
Yeah,
gonna put
that's
that
good.
on Twitter.
Everybody should use that.
Yeah, I'm putting that on Twitter now. Patty F.
Good luck to the commentators when they got to say his name.
Yeah, exactly. But as far as between him and Pitts, I think he does bring more to the run game than Pitts does. But as far as, his athleticism is, not on the same page as Pitts is.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Pitts is 3 or 4 rounds better than the next tight end.
Yeah.
Like Pitts is dominant in every facet of the game. Like he's up there with, like you have him with the greats. I have him, or no, you have him with the AAA beef, and I have him in that next level. Still, I have him sitting behind Andrews and Hawkinson at probably that 6th spot. But you have him ahead of those guys.
3, baby. 3, baby.
3, baby. You haven't even seen him play. Let's put him right ahead of Waller. Who do you got? Yeah, you got ahead of Waller.
Yeah, I got him ahead. But as far as Petty F goes, he's the type of guy that he's going to bully players. Going up for the ball. He's going to be able to do that. He's got good hands. As far as he's not going to be that guy like Pitts, where Pitts is a run after the catch guy. Right?
Yeah.
He's going to get tons of yards after the catch. That's not what Patty F is. So he's kind of like, I don't know, if I got to comp him to a guy, I'm kind of comping to a guy similar to what a TJ Hawkinson is. You know what I mean? Built wise, he's a possession receiver or a possession tight end, I guess you could call it. Just a guy like that. So I do like him. My guy I want to go with is Brevin Jordan from Miami.
I'm going to call him Brev.
Brev J. Brevin Jordan, Miami. Broke out in 2018. Finished the year with almost 500 yards receiving on 35 catches. The thing with him is what stuck to me when I was watching him on tape is just how hard he was to defend against. I noticed that with his speed, his ability to high point the ball, and what even makes him more dangerous is his athleticism to get open and what he can do after the catch. Right, kind of similar to a Pitts. Like he's a run after the catch guy. Not even anywhere near the same level. Don't get me wrong. So don't come at me and say that I compared him to Kyle Pitts because I did not do that. He's not the biggest tight end, unfortunately. He's only 6'2", but he plays bigger and uses his body well to control and make sure he catches the ball all the time, right? He's a body guy, right? Gets a ball in his body, hangs on to it. I'd like to see him go to a team like the Bills by China. I mean, there's a lot of talk about the Bills needing another pass catcher as far as in the tight end position. Dawson Knox is there, but, go get a guy like Brevin Jordan, very talented tight end, fits well with what the Bills need. And not only will he produce in the passing game, but he's a pretty good blocker in space, which is what you need. Bills need a tight end who can play all over the field, and that's exactly what Jordan does. So I do. That's what I kind of think. I think he's going to go late in drafts. That's what I think. Just kind of keep an eye out here for him because that's what the Bills do, right? They draft these tight ends later, and I mean Dawson Knox isn't a bum by any means, but they do need a little bit more out of him, and so I think that's why they go and get a tight end, one of these tight ends later in the draft.
Yeah, I like his athleticism. He needs to work on his blocking if he wants to become like an every down tight end in the NFL. And he needs to. I think he needs to get drafted by a team that really fits his skill set. Like I'd like to see him maybe go to a team like Tennessee.
Yeah, they're going to need a guy.
Yeah, they're going to need a guy, and I think that he reminds me a little bit like watching tape and stuff of Juno Smith actually, and I think that if he lands in a good spot, we could see him quickly rise in the ranks for as far as on the depth chart for that team.
I like it. That is awesome. I love this. H, let me ask you a question.
Go.
Do you like fantasy sports?
I love them.
What about a chance to win a free NFL jersey of your choice?
Yes. Sign me up.
You're going to love this, buddy. You're going to love this.
Do I get to play?
I guess if you want, we can maybe put you in there. Proud to announce. Proud to announce, we mentioned it before, but proud to announce our affiliation with Monkey Knife Fight, which is a daily fantasy sports gaming website for the casual sports fan. I love DFS, but the problem is most of them requires hours of research to win, and I just like to go into it and just, you know what I mean, just put whatever I want in there. Now, basically, the good thing about the Monkey Knife Fight is it's freaking simple, fun, easy to play. Several types of prop bet games, over-unders, you know, more or less, stuff like that. It's awesome. Yeah. I do love it. I play it quite often. And the best part is none of it, you're not really required to do any research at all, technically. You know what I mean? You go on there, for example, you know, right now with no football, let's talk about a hockey one, right? Say, for example, you got two goalies going up against each other. You know, is the goalie going to stop more than 27.5 or less than 27.5, right? Yeah. Pick those, place your bet, wham, bam, you win. Simple as that, right? No,
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Exactly. But so in order to take advantage of this contest giveaway, guys, head over to monkeyknifefight.com or download the app. And with your first deposit, use the promo code HOTDOG.
All right. I'm signing up right after we're done here.
Do it. And finally, after that's done, don't forget, because this is important, guys. Don't forget, you got to send your username to ffromupnorth@gmail.com. I'll say it again, ffromupnorth@gmail.com. Send me your username. I will enter you into the draw for a free official NFL jersey, probably from the NFL shop, a jersey of your choice. What do you think about that?
I like it.
Why do you look really confused right now? You're just kind of staring.
There was an advertising thing that just popped up and started playing in my ears. I was like, "What's going on right now?" It's like the sound of water. It was weird.
That's funny. But outside of that, that's pretty much going to end our show, pretty much. And we
got the 3 questions, man.
Oh yeah,
that's completely forgot about them.
I blew that. That was my favorite one. I was the most excited about doing that.
You know what? I'll ask you them. Right? Let's switch it up here.
We're both okay. You go ahead, Abby.
Okay, who's the 49ers taking at number 3? The big question of the draft.
It is. I'll tell you right now, it's going to be Trey Lance here. He's the best fit in this offense. Shanahan has certain criteria for a quarterback. Yeah. And I think that Lance has all of those for him, right? He's a quarterback that can sit for half the year behind Jimmy G, learn the offense, and then when it's time to play, he's going to get in there and play. The mobility is just, second to none. I know there's Justin Fields, but I think Trey Lance is the guy here.
Well, I thought that the answer was always Mac Jones from the beginning.
Come on. You still like him?
It's Mac Jones. Yeah.
No,
I know Mac Jones because that's what Shanahan pretty much came out and said. He's the stereotypical quarterback for them. He's sort of that Cousins, Matty Ice type of guy. Sits in the pocket and chucks the ball. I would have liked them to go after Fields because you compared Mac Jones to a guy like look at Kansas City, Alex Smith type of game manager, quarterback, which is exactly what Shanahan wants. And but if he goes after a guy like Fields, who I think is more like Mahomes, he's that dynamic quarterback who also can throw very accurately, and he gets out of the pocket with his feet. But I do think they're going to go after Mac Jones.
Well, I'll tell you right now, if you guys want, I'll just say this tonight.
Even though Fields should be the best, he's the best choice.
If you want some good draft coverage, guys, head over to Habby, 49ers Rush podcast on YouTube. John Chapman.
Yeah.
He's going to be doing going live tonight for the first round. I think you should be able to listen to him. And if you only listen to him for one pick, let that pick be the third round. He's a giant 49ers fan, and I want to see his reaction if the 49ers do pick Jones at that spot.
Yeah.
We do have
in that interview that I saw with Shanahan this week, he I mean, they asked him what he was gonna do with Garoppolo, and he didn't have an answer for him. And I mean, if Garoppolo was watching that, like that would piss him off, right?
But the thing that got me is, they did hold Trey Lance did have a second pro day.
Yeah.
And the 49ers were there. So that's why I kind of think that it's going to be Lance. Riley, also our graphics guy and, ranker on our site, also has Trey Lance. Riley says he's arguably the most pro-ready quarterback despite having limited games as a starting quarterback. So Riley likes him there. I want a hot take from you, though, Habby. Give me a hot take for the draft. I don't know. I don't care what it is. Could be a player who might get drafted higher than expected. Just anything. Give me something. Stop hitting the table. Stop hitting the table.
No, I'm not. I just put my phone down. Jesus.
Well, come on, man.
Sorry, I'll put it down a little gently. All right. Well, my hot take is that Pitts is the best player in this draft. Is that a hot take even? In the end, almost. I know it's a hot take because nobody's. If you're a dynasty, if you have 101 in dynasty,
you're not taking Pitts. Yeah, exactly.
You're not taking Pitts.
Yeah, exactly.
You're taking Lawrence, but
yeah,
Pitts could be the best pick. But it's a ball. Your balls has got to be like this big.
Yeah,
you're taking my 101.
I like it. Yeah, no, I like.
Let's see.
There
we go. That big.
My hot take's going to be. I know Devonta Smith. I know he put up the greatest season as wide receiver in 2020. I think because of his size, I'm like, we won't hear his name called until day 2, buddy.
Oh, really?
That's a hot take. Yeah.
Because he's a skinny Benny.
Yeah. Just as he's a wee little fella. He's gonna
get broken in half.
Exactly.
Yeah, he doesn't like it. He's coming out all over social media saying, "Screw the size." The NFL, which is sort of true. Yeah, they have lots of small, different types of receivers. You just got to get open.
Yeah, just go get open and make the plays, and you'll be good to go, bud. So, Riley gave me one here. Javonte Williams is the first running back off the board. He does still think that Najee is slightly better all-around back, but as far as Javonte goes, in his opinion, he's the best runner in this draft class, and I've heard that the scouts around the NFL love him. So that's Riley's hot take. He's thinking Javonte Williams is the first running back to come off the board. Who out of the group that we talked about now, like out of, Newman, Mills, Felton, Carter, Darden, Eskridge, Jordan, Patty F?
Patty F?
You know what I do? Who's going to make the biggest impact as a rookie?
Well, because of the way I hope it shakes down, and my guys in the Falconsville scoop them in the second round, probably third round. Michael Carter.
Yeah.
They
definitely.
They're going to take Pitts with their 4th pick. I was hoping they're going to get a running back, but that's too high. So they're going to take Pitts with this is what they're going to do. Exactly what they're going to do tomorrow. Take Pitts with their 4th, and then they're taking Carter with their 2nd. Boom, boom. They're helping out. They're doing it the right way. They're helping out their quarterback to win another Super Bowl. Right away.
Well, they have the team right now. So I'm going with my boy, Mr. Versatility himself, Dimitri Felton. Like I said, I was talking about before when I was talking about him, the last few years we have seen these hybrid running backs succeed in the NFL. Antonio Gibson being a big name right there, Curtis Samuel, those kind of guys. I'm thinking wherever he gets drafted, they're already going to have pretty much a blueprint from, a team like Washington that did use Gibson in that, in that hybrid role. And I think they're immediately going to be able to put a package together, put him in on the field. And I think he's going to perform immediately, produce right out of the gates. So Riley
another gimmick player in Washington, eh?
Yeah.
Riley, they're just going to have guys like pinball machine all over the place.
Nobody's going to know what's happening on that field. So, Riley likes another guy that I talked about, Jaelon Darden. His speed mixed with his excellent route running is some of the best in the class. He could do it all at wide receiver position. I don't think his size or college competition plays a big enough factor for him. I just said who can make the Riley? Come on, man. He's going to be recording this. I said, maybe I'm reading this wrong. Jaelon Darden. His speed mixed with his excellent route running is some of the best in the class. He could do it all at the wide receiver position, and I don't think his size or college competition plays a big enough factor. Oh, for him not to make an impact. I apologize, Riley.
Oh, yeah.
I apologize. I do
He's gonna edit that. He's gonna edit that trash talk you gave him right out of there.
Or you're just going to see his name pop up or his face pop up in it and be like, "You're an idiot. Learn how to read, you moron."
Yeah.
But outside of that, buddy, like, let's just watch this draft tonight. We got to get back on Sunday night. We have to get it back on Sunday night. Do a reaction show to the draft and talk about some amazing landing spots and all that stuff like that.
What would you do? What would you do if you had the 101 in Dynasty?
Oh, depending on what my need would be, I don't think I would take a Trevor Lawrence. So I don't think I'd have it take a quarterback at 101. No. You have the 101 in Dynasty, don't you? Again,
maybe.
Depending on what does who do
you wouldn't take a quarterback? You said no.
I don't think I would. No, not because of the way that. Well, it's not that deep though. Where else do you pick in the draft?
That's my only pick.
That's a huge pick. I want no part of that, man. I want no part of that. You might have to go Lawrence then. If you only have one pick, you might have to go Lawrence.
All right. Well, I'll take it your assessment into consideration.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I do think maybe you should take some
bum.
Yeah, just take a bum at 101. Really turn the table on these guys.
Yeah.
So, all right,
buddy. Everybody's scrambling.
All right, but we can't record too late on Sunday because you need to get your beauty sleep because we are golfing again on Monday.
Yeah.
And you can't go. You do. I'm tired. I'm tired of winning, guy. I'm tired of winning.
Come on.
Okay, come on. Do you want to play for that 101 spot?
No.
All right, buddy. Okay, well, everyone, thanks again for listening. Don't forget to check our show notes. I'll have all of our links to our Facebook page, our YouTube channel. Don't forget to download and review the podcast on Apple Podcasts. Check out our website, fantasyfootballfromupnorth@gmail.com. Outside of that, guys, thanks again for listening. And H, appreciate it, man.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, guys.
Wait a second. One more question.
What?
Who's your new team going to take with their first pick?
I haven't thought about that. I think they might have to. I don't know. I haven't even thought about it.
No? Okay.
I
guess another question is, when do you jump through that table?
I do got to jump through the table. Let's do it. Let's do it when I'm out at Trestle one weekend, buddy.
All right.
Bring
a whole bunch of runs out and just
exactly
nosedive.
All right, guys. Okay, thanks again for listening. And H, like I said, appreciate you, man. And talk to you guys soon. Peace.
Peace.